Again, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Now Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Excellent play there on third down. Give him 25 yards.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Mixon with a first down carry. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. They'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. That's complete right side to Lazard. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And a slant to his running back. It's Jones. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Rodgers to throw once more. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a 1st down.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Flush to his right, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league, totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Touchdown, Packers! Romeo Doubs, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Packers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Crosby with the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They go play action with Burrow. He'll buy some time right. And I think the ball's out. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. Here's Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Mixon. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And never an easy thing to do, no matter how good Green Bay is, what the year is, to come into Lambeau and get the victory, but they did it.
You're not just battling the team that you're playing that day. You're not just battling the crowd that's in attendance in that game. You're battling the history of the franchise. You're battling the ghosts that swirl around that place that help spur them on to victory. It is an unbelievable atmosphere, the most historic place in the league, and you have to make sure you stay focused on your task. Otherwise, you can get easily distracted.
Yeah, hats off to them for keeping that laser focus and getting the victory. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.
touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came primetime action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm ballin' like a vet. If you talking crazy, better say it with your chest. Hit him with the right, then I hit him with the left. Ooh, ooh, then the juke move. Heisman stiff arm, lights out, you snooze. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. This is not a game, this is not a game. Banging on your chest when I come through the pain. Never been about the money or the fame. But when it bring both, so here we go again. Wins on the road, yeah, I got those. Couple records that I hold, yeah, I got those. It's the playoffs, the team just got home. We ain't going outside when it matter most. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Hey!
I'm harder than I ever been. Losing's what I never do. How you supposed to walk with me? I'm 80 steps ahead of you. My mind is on Socrates. All my bars on Rubik's Cube. Every time I do it, I just have to do it beautiful. I can't let this moment pass. Yeah, I know my time is now. Know my mama proud of me. And my grandma smiling down. Every time I turn it up, whole crowd be wildin' out. Matter of fact, let me see your hands. Look, I saw my shot and I took it. I couldn't do it different. Couldn't afford to stop and go. I had to stay consistent. Made up my mind that no matter what, I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
Heart of a lion, my time, here I go. I am not moving in silence. If it ain't moving, moving. We making movies, moving. I get a chance and take it. We bout to build it. They leaving it vacant. I just go harder. I am a ball that I gotta get it. I am so with it. I will go get it. That is the difference. I am not waiting. I am not faking. Everything out here, that's for the taking. My mind too right. My grind too tight. This head rhyme too nice. This my world, my life. One shot, who me? Take that, movie. One shot, movie. That's all you need. One shot, who me? Take that, ooh-wee. One shot, movie. That's all you need.
One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot. You only get one shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
Why would I ever have to cop a chain a game when the QB chain birth most of chains in the game. No post office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies. Family size, leather bombers and Nikes and Kais. Dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrives. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know her way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused boy, little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. What I'm saying, your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. What I'm saying, people saying what's already been said. Predictions, I don't listen, it's already in my head, no funny. Your most hungry place, I was past that at 28. Underground tapes, as my ass cap in publishing states. As we slide in the G-Ride, I've been getting criticized, it's keeping me energized. Create with a business mind, I'm from where killers reside. A wild hood, only knew goons since my childhood. Say anything in they raps cause it sound good. Don't even mean what they say, horrible outlook. Y'all ain't really about this house. Y'all was in the house with it. We don't respect fake jewelry and silly outfits. Window down, blowing out. Great tents, New York's J. Prince on Houston Street. I caught the bounce before my even bounced the beat. I took the hard way in it, man, it's the route for me. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black, meet Joe Black. Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when it can be chain birth most of chains in the game?
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Green Bay Packers. Mason Crosby of the Packers has it teed up, and off we go from Lambeau. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. They begin with a run by Mixon, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Burrow will throw. Able to find Higgins. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Burrow looking to pass. Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 15-yard line. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it.
Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
This is caught.
And the Bengals are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early first and goal.
Mixon is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
Another try for Mixon. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
Third and goal. Burrow looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
McPherson's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up first and 10 at their own 23. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
That's taken in by the tight end, Josiah DeGuara.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
57's the mic. Watch 57. Take it. Here, Mike. Watch 57. 57's right. Double dog. That's the way.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. They'll go with Jones. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Here we go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
11.
36. Under 10. 10. Switch gears.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
Sliding out of the pocket. Airs it out toward the corner of the end zone. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Jamar Chase.
33 yards.
And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Evan McPherson now for the PAT.
It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up, and they gave the touchdown that was just given up.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Jermaine Pratt fighting in and dropping him for the loss.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Mixing up the middle. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Once more, Pirine. But he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. And the defense, Charles, they bit a little bit, but they did not break. And then on 3rd and goal there, the huge interception.
Think of the momentum they're carrying with them right now, Brandon, because in their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they were conceding 3 points. Their goal was to keep them out of the end zone, not give up a touchdown. Instead, they give up nothing. What a big-time play and a big-time stop by them.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Running the ball can be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield, and they capture him for a loss.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. Last play, they got stuck at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest at first half, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. There's Sam Hubbard that time in there to bring him to the ground. Well, that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Just a 30-yard punt that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Got a man open. It's Chase.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. And it's caught. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, my education continues in this game. I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said pass up the field goal here, go for it, and expect for it to be successful, and it was. I mean, they're playing this one just like a video game.
Especially for the final play of the first half to have the guts to do that. But I guess, what do we say? The end will justify the means, right?
No doubt about it. For you and me, we live, we learn.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
Nixon now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Finds Lazard quickly on the slant.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Rodgers to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. 31's the mic. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
To throw, it's Rodgers. This is caught. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
Double time. 4 down. Check. 31.
They'll run for it with Dillon.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown.
A.J. Dillon
Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Packers are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. After the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Inside handoff to Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11. Play action. It's Burrow. They'll roll him out right. Throwing for Chase on the crosser. He's got it. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Here we go. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. A handoff to Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throw left side complete to Chase. Touchdown! Jamar Chase, 27 yards. And the Bengals are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete to Lazard. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the 3rd is worth through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You called that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
P. Ryan is into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is now 24.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He'll get this to Lazard. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now Rodgers got to have this one. He finds Watson complete.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Rodgers going to throw.
A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
This likely a must-have. 3rd and goal. Jones again.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Aaron Jones
taking it in from a yard out.
And the Packers are able to cut into that deficit. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
3rd and 2. Now Burrow. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I see this surprising you face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Fourth down. Here's Joe Burrow. And he's got Hurst, his tight end. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Fourth down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field.
Let's get set. Right 80.
Mixon with a first down carry. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on third down.
So on fourth down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On play action, now Rodgers. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Rodgers. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, I guess an interception at this point on fourth down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. They'll run again with Pirine. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. That one looks like he'll throw here. Going up top. This is intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And now off to the races down the right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for two. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for two, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Now Burrow on first down. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Well, we just saw something you don't ordinarily see, and that's him trying to deep ball after throwing a pick six on his previous pass. Normally, they give him something safe to get his confidence back. Instead, they let him fire it downfield, albeit unsuccessfully.
On 2nd and 10, Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And never an easy thing to do, no matter how good Green Bay is, what the year is, to come into Lambeau and get the victory, but they did it.
You're not just battling the team that you're playing that day. You're not just battling the crowd that's in attendance in that game. You're battling the history of the franchise. You're battling the ghosts that swirl around that place that help spur them on to victory. It is an unbelievable atmosphere, the most historic place in the league, and you have to make sure you stay focused on your task. Otherwise, you can get easily distracted.
Yeah, hats off to them for keeping that laser focus and getting the victory. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.
game, don't play with my name. You come with your goons, I'm bringing my gang. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah, put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach, put me in the game. They put me in, so I'm going in. You play for fun, I'm playing to win. Back on the wall, I'm ready for war. If I beat them before, I could beat them again. They thought I was done, I went on a run and beat all the odds and got even again. Watch what you say, I'm not one of them. When I jump in my bag, I could jump out the gym. Take a look at my legacy, I gotta let them see I'm out here winning, cause I'm on a mission. Put me in the game, cause the way I'm feeling, I honestly do not see no competition. I gotta get it, so it ain't no quitting. We jumped off the benches and jumped in the trenches. No one is better than all of us, and that's why all of us been winning from the beginning. It's more than a game, don't play with my name. You come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah, put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach, put me in the game. Your goals, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah, put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach, put me in the game.
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise, make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds and the trees in the morning, or roll like the storms way over the ocean. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Even on the days when I'm late as ever, my timing is right. Even in the darkest moments, stay close, I'm that shine in the light. I can make an earthquake nervous, I can make the sun wear a visor. I can make a wise owl see me as a daily advisor. I'm that cool shade, peaceful night, and still my breath is a storm, I bet. I can make the thunder clap when I perform. It's just that in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules.